What up, boxing world? JF Sports. Freddie Roach said that the Cotto versus Canelo winner should fight Gennady Golovkin. I mean, I agree. And most of you guys would also. Now, it's very hard and it's very tough to predict who's going to be the winner of this fight. That's what makes the fight of Cotto-Canelo very, very interesting. You know, we're all been anticipating this fight for a long time now, and it's finally here, and I'm glad. So there's a lot of fans. Freddie Roach today had said some things. He said he likes how Miguel Cotto kind of outshined Golovkin a little against Daniel Geale. But everyone's talking about how great Golovkin is. But Freddie Roach thinks that the winner of this fight, Cotto-Canelo, should fight him. Maybe down the line. Freddie Roach said that right now they have a tough guy, Canelo, that they gotta worry about first, then we'll go from there. That's what Freddie said. Now, like I said, yes, a lot of people are predicting already of who's gonna be the winner of this fight. But then again, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things, you know, that it could go either way. Miguel Cotto has the smarts, has the resume, has the experience. I mean, he's fought the best. He's fought everybody. He's not a pay-per-view sensation for not being nobody. I mean, Miguel Cotto is probably going to be a Hall of Famer. But then again, you also have Saul Canelo Alvarez. And you know what sucks about this? You can't really say anything bad about Canelo Alvarez. Why? He's a gentleman. He's a good guy. He's a humble person. Not to mention, he's a very powerful guy. He's capable of knocking out his opponents in the first few rounds. I mean, let's not even look back. Let's just see what he did to Kirkland. You know, it's a dangerous opponent. He's well capable of beating Cotto, no doubt. But like I said, it's very, very tough to judge the fight. But like I've said before, we all have our dogs in the fight. And later on, as we get closer to November 21st, we all gonna have to make our prediction. And yes, most likely if you're Mexican, you're gonna go for Canelo. And if you're Puerto Rican, you're gonna go for Miguel Cotto. And so on and so forth, right? But both fighters have tons of fans around the world, not just in the US, not just in Mexico, not just in Puerto Rico, but I'm talking about the whole world. Hell, you probably have a lot of boxing fans around the world that are probably not even looking forward for the Cotto versus Canelo fight, but yet they will purchase it, they will support the fight, they will watch that fight. You know, comes November the 21st, they will be in front of their TVs watching the fight. And you guys know that. This is how much this fight is. You know, meant a lot of people. This is how big this fight is. But I must agree that whoever wins the Canelo Cotto should fight Gennady Golovkin. But there's always politics in every sport. There's always twists. There's always corruptions and all of that, right? Because yes, Cotto and Canelo may be humble persons, you know, humble people. They may be a gentleman and a great fighter, but it's not really all up to them. They have promoters, you know, they have people around them that are manipulating the fight, and better yet, wants to make money, the most money out of the fight. And guess what's gonna happen? Hell, we're so far along from November 21st, and people are already buying the tickets, preparing the travel, reserving the hotel rooms, purchasing their flight tickets. I mean, you got all of this going on now, and we're so far along still. People are already talking about it. I mean, it's clogging up the social media. It's clogging up the boxing world. It's overrunning the Mayweather Berto, the mostly Mayorga. Hell, people are even saying Miguel Cotto and Canelo Alvarez's fight is going to be way bigger than Gennady Golovkin versus David Lemieux's fight. And I agree. You know what I mean? That's how big this fight is. It's the Mexican-Puerto Rican rivalry that's been going on for decades after decades. And we're about to witness another history of that rivalry. At the end of the day, somebody's gonna win. I think this fight is one of those fights where it must not have a draw conclusion decision. It must not. You know what I mean? Like, it cannot have a draw. Somebody gotta win. And I hope they selected the best judges to witness this fight, to score the fight. But like I said about the corruption, the politics, the money behind boxing, there is a possibility. I mean, I'm talking about maybe 60 to 70% possibility that Cotto and Canelo, regardless of what happens, whether Cotto wins, whether Canelo wins, hell, whether if it was a lopsided win for either one, I think there will be a rematch, and people will buy it. And I'm not knocking them for that. If there's gonna be a rematch after this first fight, then so be it. It's okay. So the thought of the Canelo Cotto winner fighting Gennady Golovkin next, it's 50-50 also. As much as we want to see Cotto or Canelo against Golovkin, or both fighters against Gennady Golovkin, you know what I mean? After Cotto fights Golovkin, after Canelo fights Golovkin, whoever wins, I really, really think that there's most likely gonna be a rematch of Canelo and Cotto. And I don't think that's something that Canelo or Cotto would really want, you know what I mean? Because it's not an easy fight. If Cotto wins against Canelo, in my own opinion, it's not gonna be a one-sided fight. It's not gonna be a knockout fight where he knocks him out on the first round, and that's vice versa. Like I said, this fight could go either way. I don't think Canelo would win against Cotto by first round knockout or something like that, even though both fighters are well capable of doing that. Very, very well capable. But I really think with the money situation, the corruption, the politics behind boxing, I think they're gonna try to make the most money out of this. I mean, it's the most, for a while now, it's one of the most anticipated fight. People wanting to see Canelo and Cotto inside the ring. And don't you think they would want a rematch? They would want a rematch. Hell, the promoters would want a rematch. They gotta try to make the most money out of this. Hell, if Mayweather can freaking rematch with Maidana, and a talk now that Mayweather may be able to give a rematch to Berto, I mean, Cotto and Canelo obviously deserves a chance also to get a rematch, and people would buy it, people would watch it, and I'm not knocking them for that. I'm fine. I'm fine of supporting it again. But like I said, it ain't gonna be one-sided fight. I don't think so. I think it's gonna be very, very close. If not a majority decision for somebody or a split decision for somebody, unless something goes wrong and Cotto or Canelo just wasn't in their game and gets caught. But other than that, I see Cotto sizing up Canelo, and I see Canelo being the aggressor in this fight and coming forward and try to finish Cotto early on the early rounds. And it's very difficult to predict this fight. It's very difficult. It's hard. It's not easy. But at the end of the day, I think we're gonna see a good fight. I take that back. I think we're gonna see a great fight. And I'm looking forward to that. But for Freddie Roach to said that the winner of Cotto-Canelo fight should win Gennady Golovkin, not just of yet. I don't think it's gonna happen right away. I think there'll be a rematch. But yes, I truly agree. That down the line, Cotto and Canelo should fight Golovkin, and that's gonna be a good fight. I think it's gonna be an impressive fight. So I thought I'd give you guys my little thoughts on what Freddie Roach had said about Cotto and Canelo. Fight winner should fight Gennady Golovkin. Yeah, and I truly agree. That should happen. However, maybe down the line, not right away, because fans, they would want a rematch. Mexican fans would be unsatisfied if Canelo didn't win and would want to see a rematch. And then that's vice versa. Puerto Rico, Miguel Cotto's fans would want a rematch if Canelo wins, because they would feel unsatisfied. But it's the nature of the beast. That's just how it is. We want more as boxing fans, as hardcore boxing fans. We want more always. And the Canelo Cotto is the one that, if anything, the one fight that would need a rematch, regardless of what happens. Regardless if Canelo wins, regardless of what, if Cotto wins, it doesn't matter. We want to see the fight because we know what both fighters brings to the table. I know Cotto is much older than Canelo, about 10 years older, but it's not even about that. It's about, like I said, the Puerto Rico Mexico rivalry, and there are a lot of fans, boxing fans, in Mexico and Puerto Rico, and you guys know that, around the world. So if there's one fight of 2015 that might need a rematch, in my opinion, would be the Cotto-Canelo fight. Let me know what you guys think. Drop me a comment, and I'll talk to you on the next one. JF Sports. Thanks for watching.